horsetails. That's where we're at now. There's a curious little plant growing around here. Let's check it out. I don't usually eat it. I chewed it for a second. I probably could. I don't know. I feel like some people make tea. If you were out of these parts, maybe I will. Interesting. I don't know, but it's part of the show. And I like to have that, put it in me, and then maybe you'll get to experience some more of the plant's point of view. And anyway, so this thing, horsetails, look at them, they're weird. They got these weird little hairs on them, and they're kind of rough, you know, a little bit. They break apart real easy, but they're kind of, yeah, they got this rough texture on them, kind of like sandpaper, which is actually one of the uses for them. That when they're more dried out, this is like halfway dried out and still green, but pretty dry. You really want to get it pretty dry, and it's like a high grade sandpaper. Greenlight used some on some amber or something and clear it out first with something else and then use that to polish it up. And it's because there's little silicates on it, like sandpaper's got the whatever diamonds and stuff, or you know, all the things it's got on it. This plant is actually producing little organic silicates, which is pretty cool. And one of the reasons I do like having them around too in the garden to put those silicates into the soil is pretty rocking. There's tiny little crystals on there, itty bitty. And so that's also something that people use it for, hair rinse. And the silicates will get in the little parts of your hair, the broken parts, and where there's gaps, and maybe even help with split ends kind of thing, kind of fill in areas and make it shiny. Apparently it's good for that. Destiny and Andrew were using it to brush their teeth for a while because it is the abrasive thing like sandpaper, and I told them I don't think you want to, and Greenlight didn't think so, and I think it's just too abrasive, but they said it was very effective. And you don't want to drink the juice out of it though. If you are using it as tea or ingestible in any way, you don't want to get the juice from inside. These are like little bamboos. They make these little hollow sections, tube. They kind of sound cool sometimes when you're pulling them and they pop. But there's a little bit of liquid inside. Their Greenlight said he drank 32 maybe, and got paralyzed and couldn't see anything. Everything went dark, and he thought he was gonna die, and maybe could have. Didn't live to tell the tale. And so I would highly recommend you not do that. And I've not really gotten into it, even the leaves, and maybe I should eat that. Maybe I will. I'm feel into it some more, hang out with it. Usually I'm just pulling these ones, because these ones around here, let's take a look at them, they just get real thick everywhere. And this is right behind, we got this Temple Dome and this creek. They love it by the creek. They're all down the creek, and they're always growing up in here, and they just get super thick like that. If you ever want to pull these, we've pulled these before and cleared this out, but I think we're kind of letting it go thick and wild at the moment. But they form these patches. They'll be running underground. So in there, they're just really, really thick patches. And they'll grow around all kinds of things and up and over them. But, you know, they're thick enough to kind of crowd them, and other things don't grow much, but they don't always kill them. They don't smother them or take over that bad. So a lot of times in the garden, you come out and that's all you see. You see horsetails, you see comfrey, you see grass, and you go out and you pull those three, and you will just uncover all kinds of wonderful things. And people asking, "Hey, are you finding cool stuff out there?" It's like, I know there's a lot of cool stuff. There's a great garden buried under here, and you just got to liberate everything else. And so these kind of take over, but I do actually like them in the garden. I think they're a great little companion plant for the fact that I can just pull them. And these, I do like the comfrey and just lay back in the garden. I don't know that that is the best, but it's something. A layer. We don't always have good mulch back here. We really could use it. If anyone wants to bring good mulch to these gardens, they could always use it. But these are ones that they grow in amongst other things. They don't tend to really choke them out unless you don't pull them. But please feel free to come pull them all, and they will sprout right back. You will not hurt these plants whatsoever. They're just all connected by the roots, and probably the more you pull them, the better they'll do. A lot of things are like that. And so please come pull them. And if you got uses for, I could probably use some in my hair. It's a little scraggly and could use a bit of shine and fill in the broken spots. But do not drink it. Still one that I really enjoy having in the garden for the fact of the silicate addition. Then a note of curiosity, I have no idea if this would work or not, but I've been wondering, since it is making silicates, so things like, this one's got a chip on the end, and I got it like that, but I still kind of feel bad. It's pretty incredible, And this one, it's a little dinged up. Not bad considering it lived in the cave and took me all over Shasta and Hawaii and all kinds of places, and gone on a lot of wild adventures with this one, but I don't like the little dings in it, the little nicks and flea bites, and so some crystals will kind of self-heal, and you can tell where they've been chipped or injured, and they'll kind of start growing back. And so I wondered if you place the quartz crystals in either a patch of them or, break a bunch. I've kind of been doing that here. I wonder if you just broke a bunch like that. I'm doing it unconsciously. Just lay them in the pile and just have a bunch there that are breaking down, and maybe leave it in the water. For some reason it seems like rain would help. I have no idea, but maybe the silicates, because quartz is a silicate, so maybe it could absorb other silicates, use that as food, and self-heal and regrow the tips. I don't know. I would love to figure that out. If anyone wants to play with that, you got a space and some injured little quartz and some horsetails, I'd love to see if that experiment worked out at all. I have no idea. It just seems like it makes a lot of sense, right? Like, it makes all the sense, because they already will self-heal sometimes, but if they're silicates, you are what you eat, you know? I have ingested silicates crystals back in the day, went through a little phase. Elixirs are better, easier on the teeth. But it's pretty amazing. Not many plants are making crystals. It's pretty awesome that this one is, and I dig it. It's pretty magical looking, but just kind of takes over. And again, if you're ever out here, you're wanting to put in some time pulling weeds, Goddess Temple, please pull the horsetail, pull all the horsetail, and don't feel bad, especially where it's in the garden, and you will uncover some rockin' medicines as you go, and your help would be greatly appreciated. I'm not sure all where this will grow. It really likes it out here in Oregon, especially by the creek, so if you got some really wet places, but it grows in the gardens, but we have water under the ground, so all our spots are wet spots, I guess. Anywho, horsetails. Did it. Thank you.